Previously, Yumseo met Duan-yu at the Duskflame Empire Alchemist Association on his quest to find the soul-nourishing wood and the poisonous blood of a demon beast. They planned to go hunting for treasures on the South Sea in the Evanston Empire to help each other achieve their goal, and after many disputes, they'd finally agreed and set out for the Evanston Empire. Yumseo and Duan-yu set out on their mission in a Tiger King battleship. Duan-yu worries that they shouldn't be attracting attention as the entire capital is in a state of alertness due to the recent occurrence with the Xingyang family. However, Yumseo tells him that this is what he is trying to achieve. He then activates an array that reinforces their speed and gets them past the martial experts in the capital. He did this to distract them and buy more time for the martial flame city. On getting to the Verdant seaport in the Evanston Empire, they look around the city. Yumseo observes that the patrol teams have a team leader at the Martial King level, and that even the lowest-ranked team members are great martial masters. He then reasons that he has to develop Martial Flame City's power to be even stronger than Verdant Seaport's, such that his own team members will be martial grandmasters. They head to the Verdant Seaport Thousand Treasures Tower, and on meeting Sioya, the receptionist, he asks to see the leader of the tower immediately. Sioya is shocked and asks why he wants to see the tower master, and he tells her that he has a business deal worth 1 million high-tier primordial stones. She becomes more shocked and quickly shows him the way to the tower master's office. Before the master arrives, Duan-yu is shocked and thinks Yumseo is fooling around and will put them in trouble. Yu Kangshan, the tower master, soon arrives and asks about the great business deal he wants to propose. Yumseo shocks everyone when he says he just wants to borrow items worth 1 million high-tier primordial stones. Yu Kangshan observes that Yumseo is not scared and wonders if a strong force sent him to cause trouble. He asks Yumseo to elaborate, thinking it's a joke, but Yumseo tells him he isn't joking and shows him the Thousand Treasures Tower VIP card Yin Choyang once gave him, asking how much the card can borrow. On seeing this, Yu Kangshan is shocked. He realizes it is a first-tier VIP card, which is even higher than the one he has the authority to give. He begins to treat Yumseo courteously while wondering why he came to borrow primordial stones, as only the heads of powerful forces or powerful individuals can become first-tier VIPs. Yumseo tells him that he will make things less difficult for him by selling the VIP card, which should get him a few 100,000 high-tier primordial stones. Yu Kangshan thinks about the havoc it could cause to the entire southern region's prices if another commerce guild gets its hand on it. Then, Yumseo offers to sell it to him at a discount and stands up to leave, asking him to take his time to think about it before he returns in a few days. After Yumseo and Duan-yu leave, Yu Kangshan tells Sioya that he will visit the Evanston Empire's branch and instructs her to do whatever Yumseo asks if he returns before he does, anything but lending money. As Yumseo and Duan-yu continue to look around the Sea Verdant port, a guy named Wendy calls Duan-yu and begins telling him about a group unit he is forming to hunt down a treasure he recently found. Duan-yu initially says he is not interested, but becomes interested when he discovers the treasure is a violet 9-struck moth, a 6th-tier beast. Yumseo asks if it is a young moth, and Wendy is surprised by how he knows. Yumseo talks about its features and potential, and Wendy reasons that he must be from an exceptional family to have such knowledge. He first thinks Yumseo is Duan-yu's disciple, but soon realizes that Duan-yu, known for not listening to others, is listening to him. Yumseo asks Duan-yu how the treasure will be shared when they succeed. Duan-yu tells him that the normal distribution method in the Sea's Verdant port is that the organizer gets 2 shares, and the other participants get 1 share with additional primordial stones each. Yumseo then asks about his strength compared to the other group members, and Duan-yu tells him that there is a guy named Hanya with similar strength to him, but the others are insignificant. Yumseo agrees to participate, and they soon meet the other members to plan the mission. On meeting them, Duan-yu introduces everyone to Yumseo, and they wonder if he is Duan-yu's disciple. Wendy brings out the sea map, and checking it, Duan-yu is shocked to see that the moth is in the same direction as the rainbow fog and within 30 miles of each other. Even though Duan-yu tries to pretend, Han-yi observes this and asks what the problem is. Duan-yu plays ignorant, but Han-yi insists that the mission is dangerous if he isn't willing to share information. Duan-yu thinks of how to avoid revealing information about the rainbow fog. Yumseo comes to the rescue by suggesting that it was the same place Duan-yu found the bloodfish fungus in his previous hunt. Duan-yu embraces the lie and starts telling the group about it. He tells them he went hunting with a group of 7, but only he survived. They then ask him what he did with the bloodfish fungus, since it's a treasure known to increase one's strength once consumed. But his strength has not increased. He tells them he decided to give it to Youngxiu, because Youngxiu is very important to him. Youngxiu, already feeling that he is talking too much, quickly interrupts and starts acting up, calling Duanyu his half-brother from different fathers. The others are shocked that Duanyu's mother screwed another man at such an old age to give birth to a young teen. Duanyu feels embarrassed and reasons that he can't show his face in the verdant seaport if this news spreads. Henny asks him what challenges he faced the last time, and Duanyu lies and says that it was just a mere underwater vortex, hiding the fact that the rainbow fog is a major challenge. But when he says they will use the 7-star striking array against the purple 9-struck moth, and that they should start practicing pending when they arrive. Youngxiu separates himself from others to practice independently. He hasn't had time alone since he broke through to a 1-star Great Martial Master. A day later, they reach their destination. Mwendi's men prepare to lure the moth out, and they pour the snake scent solution into the sea. Youngxiu recognizes this immediately, which Mwendi finds amusing. Youngxiu tells him that although it is good for luring out the moth, the challenge is that the moths are already akin to half-dragons, and the seawater will also dilute and dissipate most of the smell, which will make it difficult to lure the moth out. Mwendi is shocked at his level of knowledge and teases Duanyu that his younger brother is a genius, making Duanyu feel more embarrassed. Mwendi's men activate the cloud drop array, and everyone is surprised, except Youngxiu, of course. Soon the clouds begin to spread, and the mist disperses. The purple 9-struck moth appears. They immediately activate the 7-star strike array and trap the moth while Youngxiu watches from the battleship. However, when they think the moth is already trapped and cannot escape, Youngxiu observes that something is off about the beast. It has awakened its innate ability and attempts to use the Seabed Draconic Thunder. Youngxiu reasons that if the moth doesn't die this time, it should be able to reach the 7th tier and wonders if they will be able to block it. Suddenly the beast attacks the other members, causing the array to break and releasing it from the trap. Duanyu attacks, thinking the other 6 have died or been wounded. Duanyu decides to at least kill the beast since he will die anyway. Youngxiu yells at him to get back on board, calling him foolish and telling him that the others had already escaped and gone into hiding the moment the array broke. Duanyu is surprised that others left him alone while he tried to play the Messiah. Youngxiu tells him to come on board, but he tells Youngxiu to leave first while he stays behind and buys him some time since their 5th-tier battleship can't outspeed the purple 9-struck moth. Youngxiu accepts and speeds off, and Duanyu quickly yells that he didn't mean what he said. On getting on board, Duanyu asks Youngxiu how they plan to deal with the moth as it almost reaches them, and Youngxiu tells him they will just find someone to take the hit. Duanyu sees this as a great idea, and they both jump off their battleship onto Mwendi's men's battleship. When the moth beast gets to the battleship they left behind, Youngxiu activates an explosion and quickly jumps off Mwendi's men's battleship to another with Duanyu, causing the moth to come from Mwendi's men's battleship. Duanyu begins to praise Youngxiu, but Youngxiu tells him not to celebrate too early and to start healing himself immediately, as he might need to fight later. Duanyu is surprised and says they shouldn't have a problem escaping at their current distance, but Youngxiu tells him they are not escaping. Youngxiu reveals that the other 6 are still lurking around, hiding with some secret techniques, and are only waiting for someone else to make a move first and come out later to reap the rewards. Duanyu observes Youngxiu's demeanor and is surprised at his calmness in such a situation. As the moth approaches their battleship, Youngxiu summons the 5-line tripod and activates the True Soul Phoenix's flame. The moth becomes scared on seeing this, and Youngxiu draws it into the 5-line tripod, trapping it inside. Duanyu is shocked, and the other 6 members return to the battleship to congratulate them. They soon demand a share in the reward, explaining how they contributed to the mission's success. An argument begins over how they will share as the others try to bring in a new agreement instead of their initial agreement. Youngxiu playfully asks if he will get a share too, since he is the one who trapped the moth in the tripod, but they refuse, saying he wouldn't have been able to if they hadn't set up the 7-star strike array beforehand. He agrees but points out that the previous distribution method was for a dead violet 9-struck moth, whereas what he captured is still living. He asks if they are going to cut it up. They are shocked and think that a living moth's value is worth many times more than a dead one, especially since it has the bloodline of a true soul and can evolve on its own. Hanyi offers to trade his share if someone can offer him a fair price. Yan Feiyu then offers his 6th-tier ancient talisman made by the Rune sect, which can block an all-out attack from a 1-star martial emperor. Everyone thinks about this, but no one chooses to accept it. Wendy then suggests they use primordial stones to settle it instead. Suddenly, Youngxio perceives that the moth inside the tripod has adapted to the suppression due to the tier difference of the phoenix's energy, and will soon break out of its trap. So he quickly tells Yan Feiyu that he and Du Wenyu will release their share if he gives them the ancient soul talisman and another 100,000 high-tier primordial stones. He also gives him the 5-line tripod, and Yan Feiyu happily adds his dragon and phoenix dual rings to the deal as compensation for the tripod. Youngxio and Du Wenyu quickly board another battleship and leave the rest to settle their distribution. He also gives them his Tiger King battleship. Du Wenyu thinks they are heading for the Rainbow Fog, but Youngxio tells him they are still going after the purple 9-struck moth. Du Wenyu is shocked and wonders what Youngxio's plan is. Youngxio activates encryptions to conceal them while they wait for what is about to happen to the other guys. The moth suddenly escapes from the tripod and begins to attack the 6. They then decide to team up to combat the beast. Youngxio, watching them from afar, comments that they wouldn't have been in such a precarious situation if they had cooperated earlier. He adds that even if they kill the purple 9-struck moth, they will exhaust most of their energy, and the profits will belong to both of them. Youngxio suddenly senses danger looming but finds it difficult to tell what exactly it is with his universal detect. He tells Du Wenyu to prepare to flee at any moment as there's a change of plan. Youngxio continues to wonder what it could be, and suddenly a large hand appears from the sky and captures the purple 9-struck moth at once. It's Hang Yuan, a Peak 6 Directions Realm Marshal Brandmaster, one of the guardians of the Star Mansion sect in Verdant Seaport. He plans to make a pill from the moth for his master, Shifeng, as a gift for his upcoming 500th birthday. He tells them to scram, and when Hanyi tries to tell him that he has a connection with Master Shifeng, Hang Yuan throws him into the mouth of a fish in the sea with his power. He then sends his aides to kill all of them and turns to go after Youngxio and Du Wenyu, whom he perceives to be hiding. Youngxio and Du Wenyu become terrified. Youngxio asks Du Wenyu if he can injure Hang Yuan by attacking him with his full strength, and he replies that he can injure him heavily if he fully lands an attack. But the challenge is that Hang Yuan won't just stand there and let him hit him. Youngxio tells him that when Hang Yuan is 10 meters away from them, he will restrict his movement so he can launch his full attack on him, and he also tells him to start gathering momentum when he is 100 meters away. Du Wenyu is shocked at this statement and wonders how a mere Great Martial Master can restrict a Peak Martial Grandmaster's movement. As Hang Yuan draws nearer, Du Wenyu begins to gather momentum, and on seeing this, Hang Yuan offers Du Wenyu the opportunity to join the Star Mansion sect. Youngxio suddenly uses the Universal Spirit Suppressor, Exile, and Hang Yuan's movement becomes restricted, being held by the endless world star's shine, Ghost Hold. Hang Yuan breaks out of the hold after some time, but that's when Du Wenyu lands him a powerful attack using the White Flame Ghostly Killer, 6 Evils Halberd technique. Du Wenyu returns to the battleship, and they speed off immediately. Meanwhile, Hang Yuan takes the 6th-tier Holy Medicine Pill and considers chasing after them again. And just as he attempts to do so, he enters the Rainbow Fog and quickly shields himself from the pink crystalline dust. Also, Youngxio shields himself and Du Wenyu from the dust in the battleship while they rest to recover their powers. A few days later, they get past the seas of the Verdant Seaport to a different region. Youngxio tells Du Wenyu that he notices they are surrounded and says they must have wandered into the territory of a Seafolk tribe. Suddenly, many Seafolk from the Blazefish tribe, full of martial brandmasters, emerge from the sea and threaten them for intruding on their territory. Youngxio tries to plead with them, saying they intruded by accident. However, the Seafolk do not listen and try to attack. Youngxio then pleads that they capture them instead and spare their lives, which the Blazefish tribe master sees as a great idea. They captured Youngxio and Du Wenyu and give them the water warding pills to survive in the sea. They take them into the sea, and on their way to the chief of the Blazefish tribe, one of the Seafolks tells them about a strong human that intruded on their territory not too long ago and injured 3 of their leaders, so the chief ordered them to capture the guy. Realizing it was Hang Yuan, Xiao also declares his hatred for him so they would know they are unrelated. He also reasons that for Heng Yuan to have injured the 3 leaders, it means there are also 8 or 9-star martial grandmasters, and he concludes that there should be hope for an escape as long as there isn't a martial emperor in their midst. The Seafolk tribe master begins to tell them about the Seafolk world. According to the Seafolk strength, the tribes are divided into 7 tiers, with the first being the strongest and the 7th being the weakest. The Blazefish tribe is a 5th-tier tribe whose reign covers a 1,000-mile radius. Xiao reasons that this is bad as the tribe must have a martial emperor, being 5th tier. The Seafolk further naively reveals that they have a 1-star martial emperor, but unfortunately, he will soon die, and the strongest they have left is Tai Fan, who just became a 9-star martial grandmaster recently. However, Tai Fan got heavily injured by Heng Yuan, and if he cannot break through to a martial supreme before the chi passes, the Blazerfish tribe will become weaker and fall back into the 6th tier. Xiao reasons that since all 3 leaders of the Blazerfish tribe are injured, the last remaining pillar supporting the tribe is the martial emperor tribe leader. Xiao and Duan Yu are taken to the tribe leader, Tai Pin, and when he discovers that they are humans, just like Heng Yuan, who attack the tribe, he orders that they be fed to the fishes. Xiao yells in arrogance, stating he will wipe out the whole tribe. Tai Fi, a Seafolk, gets angry at this outburst and attempts an attack on Xiao, but Duan Yu quickly dashes at him and hits him off. Tai Pin rages in anger but becomes calm when Xiao reveals that he is on his last breath and will die if he attacks them. Xiao tells him to apologize or he will kill Tai Fi before he can do anything. Tai Fi gets angry and dashes at Xiao, but Tai Pin stops him and tells Xiao and Duan Yu to leave their territory and never return since they don't have any ill intent. Xiao replies that he doesn't want to leave yet and wants to make a business deal instead. Tai Pin first rejects a business deal, but becomes interested when Xiao tells him that the deal can give him an additional 100 years of life and help the heavily injured tribe head break through to the martial emperor. Then, Xiao talks about the Congo divine tree. Tai Pin gets disappointed and tells Tai Fi to tell him about the situation of the Congo divine tree. Tai Fi narrates how a more powerful tribe, called the Razor Clan tribe, came to take it from them forcefully. Xiao asks them if they have a method to go straight into the divine tree, and Tai Pin replies that there's no way to do that without alerting them. But it could be possible if they can break the Razor Clan tribe's seal and break in by force. Xiao says this would be easy and asks that the tribe leader lead the way, but Tai Fan soon arrives and interrupts, attempting to attack Xiao. Duan Yu quickly jumps in to block the attack. Tai Fan attempts another attack, but Tai Pin stops him. Tai Fan tells Tai Pin not to allow himself to be tricked by the humans, but Tai Pin replies that he has his certainties. Tai Ling too runs in, warning her father of the same, but Tai Pin says this could be their last chance to avoid being devoured by the Razor Clan tribe. Tai Ling raises different points to persuade her father not to listen to the humans, but Tai Pin counters all of them. Xiao asks what region the Razor Clan tribe came from, and Tai Fan tells him they didn't only come from a different region, but a different sea entirely. Tai Fan further reveals that the Razor Clan tribe was originally from the East Sea and was 2nd tier, but they fell to 6th tier when they faced a powerful human who slayed hundreds of their martial sovereigns. Xiao finds this familiar, realizing he is the human who caused the massacre, Gu Fainang. The Sea Folks express their hatred for Gu Fainang, and Xiao quickly changes the topic. Soon, Tai Ling demands that Xiao shows them what he is capable of before they trust him on his claim that he can extend Tai Pin's life and help Tai Fan break through to a martial emperor. Xiao reveals that he is a refiner and would like to contest with Tai Ling, their best refiner, adding that he will follow whatever they say if he loses and vice versa. He asks Tai Ling to pick her area of expertise, and her father advises her to choose fire manipulation. Xiao is quite surprised since, logically, the thing sea folks fear the most is fire. The contest soon begins. Xiao tells Tai Ling that he will demonstrate a few actions, and if she can imitate them, she wins, but if not, he wins. Xiao demonstrates his first move with fire manipulation, but Tai Ling imitates it easily, even on her first try. Xiao comments that her talent is very strong and better than his for her to pull that off on her first try. Xiao goes on to display his highest attainment in fire manipulation, the Phoenix's advent of 100 birds, using the Phoenix's true fire, and even breaks through to a 2-star Great Martial Master. Everyone becomes startled at his skillfulness and wonders if he is a god. Tai-pin suddenly falls to his knees and bows to Youngseo. The other sea folks are surprised and wonder why their chief is suddenly bowing to the human, and Tai-pin urges them to bow too. He begins to refer to Youngseo as the holy emissary, and Youngseo wonders what he means by this. Tai-pin then narrates the origin of the Congo divine tree and the Blazefish tribe. The Blazefish tribe used to be a tribe of normal sea dwellers, and a time came when a true soul phoenix reached nirvana on the Congo divine tree. The flames of its reincarnation accidentally spread onto an ancestor of the Blazefish tribe, changing his body massively and making it suitable to train with fire. The ancestor went on to become a martial sovereign and brought the tribe up as a powerful force from the mere sea dwellers it was. Tai-Fi then asks why the tribe has been unable to break through the Nine Heavens realm for the past 10,000 years. Tai-Pin tells him it's because of the weakening bloodline and adds that they don't have to worry anymore since the holy emissary is now here. He tells Youngseo that he felt the dormant ancient power in his veins beginning to rise as he projected the phantom of the phoenix. Tai-Pin tries to hold a welcome ceremony for Youngseo, but he stops him, and they soon set out for Congo Divine Tree. They kill some Razor Clan tribe guards and soon reach the Congo Divine Tree. After seeing the condition of the Divine Tree, Youngseo deduces that the Razor Clan tribe is using the tree's sap to directly increase their whole tribe's strength, and they would be much stronger than the Blazefish tribe already. As they enter the tree, they are intercepted by some sea folks from the Razor Clan tribe, but they kill them easily and head inside. Within the Divine Tree, Youngseo thinks about the spirit-nourishing wood he needs, which can be found near the core of the Congo Divine Tree. However, they can't just cut their way into the core to avoid attracting the enemies. Youngseo begins to feel his realm rising again due to the unlimited yuan qi in the Congo Divine Tree. Suddenly, another powerful sea folk from the Razor Clan tribe attacks, and Tai-Pin goes all out in combating him. After killing the sea folk, Tai-Pin is exhausted and thinks he is about to die. He turns to Youngseo and commits the future of the Blazefish tribe to his hands. Youngseo suddenly uses the golden acupuncture needles on him and gives him some pills, telling him not to talk like that. Tai-Pin instantly feels better and fully recovers, surprising the other sea folks. Youngseo tells him to lead the way, and as they all move on, he uses private sound transmission to tell Tai-Pin that he must not attack again before they reach the core of the Divine Tree, as he only temporarily suppressed the deterioration of his body, and would set up a formation to help him recover 100 years of lifespan as soon as they reach the core. Some moments after Youngseo and his party leave, some Razor Clan tribe members discover some intruders are within the Divine Tree, but don't bother pursuing them as they perceive that they are not that strong, so they shouldn't be a threat. On getting to the inner parts of the Divine Tree, they are faced with the challenge of which path to take to access the core, as even Tai-Pin does not know it since the Blazefish tribe never really understood the internal structure of the Divine Tree when it was in their possession. Youngseo surprisingly locates the path, and they all wonder how he could get it. Youngseo, too, is surprised that he could locate it that easily and reasons that it must be related to the Phoenix's true fire. They head inside, and on reaching the core, Youngseo and Tai Ling set up a simplified version of the Creation Link formation. This ancient formation can directly absorb soul qi from worldly treasures and convert it into true qi. They'd all get into the formation and start cultivating. They become amazed by the amount of true qi they can absorb and wish they could continue to enjoy this experience for as long as possible until they break through to the top martial levels. Youngseo reasons that this won't be possible even with many Congo Divine Trees around, as the trees won't withstand the Creation Link formation's absorption. The formation extracts soul qi directly from worldly treasures, completely ruining them, which is more destructive than the method the Razor Clan tribe is using. However, Youngseo doesn't tell them this as it might affect their reaction, and they can't afford to care about it now. Youngseo also cultivates and soon breaks through to a 3-star Great Martial Master, but he notices that Duan Yu is having difficulty cultivating and absorbing the Yuan Qi. He asks what the problem is, and Duan Yu reveals that his body has been sealed. Youngseo is shocked and removes his clothes immediately to see the seal mark on his body. He recognizes that it is the Three Directions Gostate Curse seal and discovers it was placed by Holian Xiaowang, one of his disciples. The curse gradually reduced his cultivation level and weakened him. Duan Yu asks him if he knows how to remove it, and Youngseo tells him he has to castrate himself to remove it. Duan is shocked and pleads for another method. Yunxiu later reveals that the seal requires the caster's blood to be undone, but he can teach him a secret technique to break it for an hour each day. He then teaches Duan Yu the technique, and they soon continue to cultivate. Yunxiu sees this as an opportunity to have Dua continue to follow him, and silently commends Holian Shouwang for what he did. Meanwhile, in Mercenaries, King Forest, Holian Shouwang suddenly remembers Gu Feiyang while having fun with some ladies. It's almost his master's death anniversary, and he is determined to go to the Tanding Mountains to find the truth when he breaks through to the Nine Heavens realm. A few days later, Domain, a 2-star martial emperor and Razor Clam tribe leader, walks into the core of the Congo Divine Tree, where Yunxiu and his party are, and demands the diagram of the formation they are using from them. Yunxiu tells Tai Pin through private sound transmission to try to hold off Domain, while Tai Fan uses that time to break through to a martial emperor, and Tai Pin launches an attack immediately. Yunxiu instructs the others to focus and increase their strengths as much as possible, while Tai Pin buys them more time. Tai Fan begins to panic and finds it hard to break through, but Yunxiu guides him on what to do. Tai Fan follows Yunxiu's instructions and soon breaks through to a 7 constellations realm martial emperor. Then he goes to assist Tai Pin. Yunxiu also breaks through to a 4-star great martial master, and he instructs that they all get going as the Tai Pin and Tai Fan can't hold off to Meng forever, and the other members of the Razor Clam tribe may soon arrive. However, Duan Yu tells them to leave it to him while Yunxiu and the others stay back and continue cultivating. Outside the Divine Tree, Tai Pin and Tai Fan are in a heated fight with Demeng, and Tai Pin is already severely injured. Duan Yu suddenly appears as Demeng proceeds to end Tai Pin and Tai Fan. When Demeng discovers it's a mere 7-star martial grandmaster challenging him, he laughs and launches a brutal kick attack on him. However, shockingly, Duan Yu blocks it, holds his leg, and suddenly begins to rapidly break through new cultivation levels, while the 3 directions Goste curse seal on his body clears off. Duan Yu breaks through to a peak 1-star martial emperor, the level he once was before his body was sealed, and tears Demeng's leg off his body. Demeng's leg regenerates immediately, and he launches another attack. However, Duan Yu uses the White Flame Ghostly Killer, Divine Demon Extermination to cut Demeng's arms, making it impossible for him to regenerate. Demeng starts to release some vibrations into the water to alert other members of the Razor Clam tribe, but Duan Yu attacks quickly and kills him with his white flames. The Razor Clams soon troop in and start to attack them. Yunxiu tells Duan Yu and Tai Pin to kill all of them and not mind him as he cuts through the tree's roots, heading for the spirit-nourishing wood. On getting to the spirit-nourishing wood, he discovers it has not fully matured and reasons that it is probably because of its large size. He could locate it because Demeng's spirit flew in faintly after he was killed. The divine tree absorbs the spirits of the dead. He thinks of waiting until Duan Yu kills all the Razor Clams so the divine tree can absorb their spirits, which could be more beneficial to the spirit-nourishing wood. Suddenly, he hears a voice from within the divine tree but can't detect who it is with his universal detect. Soon, the spirit of the Congo divine tree appears and tells him he needs his help to be reborn through the Phoenix True Fire. However, Yunxiu declines, telling him he can't control the Phoenix True Fire and is afraid he might consume himself. The spirit tells him he will guide him through it and teach him how to control it as long as he is willing to help him. The spirit also offers to transfer all his remaining soul chi to Yunxiu, which will help him break through to a martial lord. He further tells Yunxiu that his body tempering technique will be raised by at least 1 stage. All these benefits tempt Yunxiu, and he considers helping the Congo spirit. Then the spirit adds that when he is reborn, he will return to his original seedling state, in a state of deep sleep, and tells Yunxiu to ensure to take him and plant him in a place with abundant soul chi. He promises to give Yunxiu a trace of his Taiyi mystic chi if he can protect him till he wakes. On hearing this, Yunxiu is shocked and immediately agrees to the deal. He reasons that obtaining a trace of the Taiyi mystic chi can greatly increase his probability of reaching martial deity. Yunxiu takes the spirit nourishing into his storage ring and starts the rebirth process with the spirit of the divine tree's guidance. As they proceed with the rebirth process, Heng Yuan appears and realizes that Yunxiu is messing with the divine tree, so he tries to attack him but backs off when he sees that the Phoenix True Fire is too dangerous for him. After a while, the soul chi completely vanishes from the Congo divine tree, and Duan-yu and the others continue to slaughter the razor clams massively. Delay, the razor clam tribe elder, quickly goes to YXI to plead for his help in assisting them in the battle. YXI gets angry, asking her when he became the razor clam tribe's fighter, and stating that his agreement with the razor clam tribe was limited to helping them obtain the Congo divine tree in exchange for helping him break through. However, when Delay mentions that the Congo tree will die and he won't be able to continue cultivating, he decides to help but kills Delay and uses her as his supplement, absorbing her yuan chi for his nourishment. He uses many other razor clam as supplements, and while Tai Pin and Tai Fan celebrate the breakthroughs of Tai Fi and Tai Ling, Tai appears and poses a threat. He is the only martial supreme in the region, and none of them matches his power. Unfortunately, Duan-yu's curse seal mark reappears, and he degrades to his usual form. Wei-axa demands to know why the soul chi in the divine tree has vanished, and threatens to kill them if they don't speak up. Suddenly, he hears the voice of the Congo spirit from within the phoenix true fire and wonders who it is. He dashes toward the fire to attack the person behind the voice and meets his doom. The fire consumes him instantly. The flame continues to burn all the razor clam tribe members and spreads throughout the sea region. The fire gets so intense that it begins to boil the sea's surface and even splits the water apart. The Lord of the South Sea, Kinming, also senses the ongoing chaos in the water thousands of miles away, in the depths of the South Sea. He orders the sea-taming yaksha to go and investigate who is displaying such extraordinary power, and he tells him not to offend the person at all costs. 7 days later, the Congo divine tree has completely burned off. The fire still keeps burning and almost dries up the surrounding seawater, and the Blazefish tribe begins to worry that their tribe chief has not returned. Duan-yi and the others wonder where Yunxiu is but soon see him amid the fire at a distance. Yunxiu senses someone spying on him and instantly calls him out. The sea-taming yaksha, a one-star martial sovereign, reveals himself and is shocked to see that Yunxiu is only at the level of a martial lord, but emits a great aura and pressure strong enough to make his soul tremble. He respectfully asks Yunxiu for his name, so he can report back to Kinming, but Yunxiu tells him to tell Kinming to come by himself if he wants to know his name. He then scares him off. Suddenly, his body begins to crack up, and his tempering body technique upgrades to the second stage, the unyielding Terran physique, just as the Congo spirit promised, making him much stronger than before. With this body, he can match a martial lord in strength without using any true chi. He also discovers that he has broken through to a 4 quadrants realm martial lord. Duan-yu and the others are shocked that Yunxiu caused the scene, and they wonder how he could even scare off a 9 heavens realm martial sovereign, a second-tier being. Duan-yu soon realizes that Yunxiu is now a martial lord. He is shocked and thinks he is dreaming. Yunxiu tells them they should get going before the sea-taming yaksha returns with Kinming. As they attempt to leave, the seabed that the Congo divine tree used to be rooted on suddenly begins to collapse, and a strong whirlpool hits them. However, when the whirlpool ends, Yunxiu is surprised that his body can withstand the whirlpool due to the unyielding Terran physique. He scans the environment with his universal detect to know if the others are fine, and then he discovers that Hang Yuan is around and trying to escape. He quickly pursues him and attacks him. Hang Yuan, who got severely injured in the whirlpool, is shocked to discover that Yunxiu doesn't even seem injured. He becomes more shocked when he realizes that Yunxiu is now a martial lord. Hang Yuan begins to run away, and when Yunxiu tries to chase him, Tai Ling calls him to come and check on her father, who has gotten severely injured and is on the point of death. Even though he hasn't retrieved the purple 9-struck moth, he decides to attend to Tai Pin, leaving Hang Yuan to escape. Yunxiu checks Tai Pin and breaks the news that he has reached his limit, and that death is inevitable since there is no Congo divine tree anymore to save him. Tai Pin gives his final words, appointing Tai Fan as the new tribe chief and Tai Ling as a tribe elder to support him. He commits the tribe's future to Yunxiu's hands, but Yunxiu rejects it, saying he has finished what he has come to do and has to return to the Tianwu continent. Tai Pin tells his children to always remember Yunxiu as a friend of the Blazefish tribe. He soon dies and Yunxiu bids them farewell. Tai Ling tells him that she wishes to learn the art of refinement from him, and he tells her to come and find him at the Martial Flame City when the Blazefish tribe settles down, so he can teach her all that he knows about alchemy. They appreciate Yunxiu and Duan-yu for helping them greatly in the past few days, and Tai Fan takes them back to the sea surface. While they wait for a rainbow fog to reappear to take them back to where they came from, Du-Wen-Yu heads further into the island to hunt for treasures, and Young-Seo admires the newly reborn Kungo seedling. The Blazefish tribe suddenly reappears with Young-Seo's Tiger King battleship, full of treasures. He stores them in his storage ring, and the long-awaited rainbow fog appears. They wait for the perfect time to enter, and Young-Seo suddenly notices that Hang Yuan is in the rainbow fog, so they begin to chase him. As they close in on Hang Yuan, Young-Seo launches an attack with the roaring tiger Terraquake and destabilizes him. Young-Seo then controls the pink crystalline dust and attacks him with it. Surprised, Hang Yuan quickly blocks it with the Boundless Realm, Star Mesh Shield, and boasts that no matter what Young-Seo does, he is still a martial emperor. Young-Seo uses spirit power manipulation to make the crystalline dust war axe and attacks again. Hang Yuan reinforces his defense with a threefold Star Mesh Shield with all his Yuan energy. However, the crystalline dust war axe maneuvers itself around the defense and heads for him. Hang Yuan makes another shield to block the attack, but the war axe breaks through his defense. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you guys in the next video.